Hey y'all, it's Jen and welcome to my channel, Ifra's Inklings. It is time for the mid-year freakout tag. I know I'm a little late on this. It's, more like the third quarter freakout tag, but whatever. We're just going with this, okay? I've got my questions here. I've got some of the books I'm going to talk about here. So before we dive into this tag and these questions, be sure and hit that big red subscribe button if you're not already subscribed. And if you are, or think you are, just double check because YouTube keeps unsubscribing people from my channel. So just make sure you are still subscribed if you want to be subscribed. I've done this tag before. I think I've recorded it every year that I've been on BookTube, but I don't think I've uploaded it every year. So I will link other tag videos down below if I can find them. If not, they'll be in my tag playlist. So this is the 2021 version. So number one, the best book you've read so far in 2021. This one was hard, y'all. I'm not gonna lie. I've read some really good books this year, but because I have this one in physical copy, it's the one I'm gonna go with, and that is The Midnight Library by Matt Haig. This is your what if book. What if you chose a different path in your life? It could be a small moment, it could be a major moment, but if you had taken done one thing differently, how would your life have turned out? And that's kind of the premise of this book, and I loved it. I love that what if type of aspect of a butterfly effect, or there's a Taylor Jenkins Reid book that kind of goes by that theme as well. I love that theme in books, and so it's my favorite book that I've read so far this year. Alright, question number 2 is the best sequel you've read so far in 2021. And this one was also really hard for me because, number one, I haven't read a lot of sequels, but the sequels that I have read have been amazing. I think that I'm going to go with The Law of Innocence by Michael Connelly. This is the most recent book of his in the Lincoln Lawyer series, or the Mickey Haller series, whatever you want to call it. This is a defense attorney who you kind of go through the crimes and through the legal aspect of things from the defense attorney side. This one was a little bit unique because Mickey Haller found himself accused of a crime and had to defend himself also while being incarcerated. So it was very interesting. I really love the aspect of it, and I think it's probably the best sequel I've read so far of this year. Question number 3, a new release you haven't read yet but want to. There's several probably that I want to read and haven't yet, but I'm gonna go with The Lamplighters by Emma Stonex. This is loosely based on a true story of a unexplained disappearance of 3 lighthouse attendees on a remote island, at a lighthouse on a remote island. And like I said, this is loosely based on that case of those missing lighthouse, what do you call them? Attendants, I don't know. But I'm very interested in reading this because I found the original case that this is, again, loosely based on to be fascinating. So Question number 4 is, what is your most anticipated release for the second half of the year? And I don't really have one off the top of my head. I haven't been following real closely on new releases that are coming up. I'll just say if Casey West has a new one coming out in the second half of the year, that one would be highly anticipated. I think the 3rd book in the companion series for the Kiss Quotient by Helen Wong, I think that one comes out this year. If it does, that is definitely high up on my list. Again, I don't really follow along a lot of the new release stuff. Just when something comes out, I'm like, oh, I didn't know they had a new book. Let me grab that. Is kind of how I figure that out. So I'm just really bad this year on that. Question number 5, what's been your biggest disappointment so far? That is gonna be My Very 90s Romance by Jenny Colgan. I didn't know what to expect going into this book. I saw the title and I was like, oh, that sounds cute. The reason it was the biggest disappointment, I DNF'd this book probably 100 pages in because of the racial slurs and the way that they were using autism as a kind of a negative trait quality. It was being discussed as if that was bad and looked down upon, and they were calling a person in here autistic because he was shy and he wanted to stay on his video games or his computer or whatever and didn't want to socialize. So I just found that extremely problematic, and it disappointed me because I wanted to like it because it's 90s and I wanted it to be all about the 90s and be nostalgic, and it was just crap and I DNF'd it. So there we go. What has been your biggest surprise of 2021? And that is going to be A Natural History of Dragons. This is a fictional historical memoir. So it's written as if it was a memoir, but obviously it's about dragons. So it's definitely fictional and sci-fi-ish. But I loved it. It was so well done, and I was just mesmerized, and I was like, I couldn't, if I didn't know that dragons weren't real, and if I didn't know this was fictional, I would have thought I was reading the memoir of a scientist who studied dragons, a female scientist, pioneer of her days and of her time, and made all these discoveries about dragons. And like I said, it was fascinating. I loved it. Number 7 is your new favorite author, either debut or new to you. And I'm gonna go with Corey Ann Haydu. I've had this book on my shelf for a while. It's The Careful Undressing of Love. It is I don't know even how to describe this book. It is about this group of girls or women who live on a street in Brooklyn who are cursed, supposedly cursed, that everybody that they fall in love with, every man that they fall in love with will die. And it's kind of it follows the kids who are teenagers in high school who just really don't believe in this until things start to happen. And there is a lot of interesting commentary in here, and I thought it was well written, and I thought that it poses those thinking points in a very interesting way. And it's so interwoven in just the storyline that you don't really realize that you're questioning these things until you start questioning them. Like, it's not beating you over the head with these ideas that you should think about. And is this really the right way to go about this? these situations, and then of course that curse, and is it really a curse or is it really just bad unfortunate luck and that you believe in because crappy things happen to people. And so like I said, it was very interesting, and I loved the way Corey Ann Haydu wrote, and I can't wait to read more by this author. So I'll definitely be seeking out more by Corey Ann Haydu. Question number 8 is your new fictional crush. I don't really have fictional crushes, so none of them has really stood out to me so far this year that I'm just, you know, pitter patter my heart. Number 9, your newest favorite character, and again, I don't really have one of those. As I read a story, I fall in love with all the characters in that story, and they're all my new favorite, and then I read the next one, and you know, that's just kind of how it goes. I don't, I'm not loyal at all. Question number 10, a book that made you cry. And I don't think any of the books that I've read this year have made me cry. Real life has made me cry, but I don't think any of the books have made me cry. And even if I did cry, it didn't leave a lasting impression with me. Question number 11, a book that made you happy. Once Upon a Royal Summer really made me happy. It was cute, it was endearing, it was an adult romance that was just whimsical and really fed into that fairy tale that every little girl has had at one point, or most little girls have had at one point, where you want to be a princess and marry your prince, you know, and that is literally the story of this, and it's just perfect, and it just made me so happy to read. 12, question number 12 is the most beautiful book you've bought so far this year or that you've received. And I'm gonna go with The Lucky List by Rachel Lippincott. The tag is covering it. I just think this cover is stunning. Maybe because it's summertime and it's got the sunflower on it and the flowers, but I just think this cover is beautiful, and it's one of the ones I bought this year. Like, I just recently bought it, so you'll see it in a haul coming up if it's not already out. But I don't know what this book is about. I literally picked it up because I thought the cover was pretty, and I am notorious at buying books based on the cover alone. But I did read the back of the book here, and all the back of the book has is a list of 12 things. And so it's like a list of things that she wants to do, and so I've not even read the inside cover. I have no idea what this list has to do with the storyline. I'm just going to go into it blind. So I can't tell you anything about this book, but I thought the cover was beautiful, and that's what the question was about. The final question in this tag is, what books do you need to read by the end of the year? And all these books back here are my TBR books, and I've got an entire cart full down here. But to be a little more specific, I've got 3 different secret TBRs that I'm in the middle of and have been working on for, one of them I've been working on for 2 years now. So those books I definitely need to get finished before the end of the year so I can wrap those videos up and get them out, because that's ridiculous. I've like moved to an entirely new state during the middle of a pandemic and still haven't finished one of those videos. So I think I'm down to 3 books in that I still need to read. So those are going to be my 3. I'm not going to tell you what they are though. You'll just have to check out the video whenever I get it done. Now, normally you would tag somebody in this video. This one's done every year. Most people do it, so I'm not going to tag anybody. But if you happen to see this video and you haven't done it yet, then I tag you in it. Otherwise, I'm sure you've already done it because I'm a little late to the game in getting this one posted. Let's see. Let's leave a flower emoji down below. Any flower, but specifically a sunflower if you can find it. Is there a sunflower emoji? If there is, leave that down below. Otherwise, just a flower emoji. And tell me your book that has most surprised you this year. What was your biggest surprise book? Leave that down below as well so I can definitely check out some more books, because I need to add books to my TBR. I clearly do not have enough books on my TBR. So with that said, please be sure and give me a thumbs up if you've enjoyed this video. If you didn't like this video, if you hate tags, if you're tired of seeing this tag because everybody has done it at this point, just give me a thumbs down. I understand. It really helps me know what videos of mine you enjoy, and also it helps me with the YouTube algorithm. I mean, that's what we're here for, is to find ways to trick that algorithm and get our videos seen by more people. So also, with that said, what you're gonna see on the screen now is going to be 2 videos. One is probably a playlist to some of my past tag videos, and also one is a video that YouTube thinks is one of mine that you would enjoy. So be sure and click on that one, go and watch it, and leave me a comment on it to let me know if YouTube did a good job in picking that video for you. And until next time, I will talk to you later. Bye.